Welcome to PNWL. In case you're curious, my task for the day is taking this apart. Not all of it, of course, but taking the bumper off and the slam panel and that headlamp and the radiator. Oh, and that's broken as well, the airbox. And that's broken. That I'm yet to decide which is the most broken, the bonnet or the bumper. They are both broken in equal measures, I suppose. But first, Rhiannon. Rhiannon is here, and it shouldn't be. It's there because last night, when I come to move it, it didn't want to start. So today, I need to find out why and move it somewhere more suitable than just here. Because this is another one of those spots that I'm not paying for. Well, I don't know what the problem there was. So, finally, I am finding the motivation, you know the word. It's one of those things I struggle with sometimes because it's cold. And you know it's cold. You do know it's cold. You know how cold it is right now. And you know how difficult it is to find motivation when it's that cold. Well, that's the problem. But also, I consider this to be a relatively easy job to do. There we go. I've made a start. It's been a while since I've taken the front end off of one of these. And it's been a very long while since I've taken it off and put it back on again. That's what I did with my ZT. That was many years back. So far back, I can't even remember why I took it apart and then put it back together, but I did. Anyway, that's the two 10 mils from down there. I think it's just one, and then it slides off. I hope so. And then I have to do these big screw heads here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. What? Why is there 9? Seems like an odd number. Might have to count that again. That was rather stupid of me. 9 seems like an odd number. It is an odd number. That's the point, isn't it? It's not an even number, it's an odd number. And it is the correct amount of screws to undo. I didn't miscount it. I didn't count 9 when I should have counted 8. In fact, why did I need to count them at all? Just another distraction, that's all. When I should be cracking on with this job. Right, yeah. That's a start. It does look a rather sorrowful state, and that's not moving either. This is all bent. That is obviously, but so far I'm not seeing anything structural. One of these days I'll learn to speak. Not seeing anything structural so far. Hello. I've got to carry on this work without filming it because I looked at my phone and it had gone down to 1% charge. That was 1% from about 15, only 2 minutes earlier. So that's a bit strange. Obviously I can't use it except if it's plugged in. So I'm not even finished yet. There's quite a lot of things to undo on this. As you can see, this is also rather badly damaged, but that's going around a bit now. Oh, more bits falling off. But the really good thing is no structural damage. That is all excellent. It's all very good. Because I didn't get started on this until 3 o'clock, it's going dark after an hour and a half of mostly taking bits off and partially looking on my phone. that works. As suspected, the 3 radiators are all fine. It's just this here that's a bit of a mangled mess. It doesn't really want to. It does work still actually, but it's making some funny flapping noises. Well, should I just come back tomorrow? You join me here at PNFP for another day on the 75 pull apart thingy. You might be wondering why I didn't just do it in one day. Well, the answer is simple. It was too late by the time I got started. And then I had a day off, and now I've got a day on. Anyway, never mind any of that stuff. Here's the car, that's the radiator, that's the new radiator. Although it has something missing, which will be that basically, for the gearbox. The gearbox oil cooler. And besides that, the existing radiator is better. So I need to take off this, stick it on that. All very easy until we find one captive nut that won't go around. So I'm going to have to take some sort of drastic action. Yeah. What happens here quite a lot is I'm doing something and then I get a message and I answer a message, I don't find a part, I reply to that message, or somebody turns up to pick up that part that they sent me the message about in the first place, and I stop what I'm doing and then I forget where I'm up to. And that's what's just happened then. Not complaining, it's just that I'm going to rethink the stuff. Oh yes, so where I'm up to. Where am I up to? That is taking this bit off of there so it can be bunged on there to complete that part of the job. And that is the part of the job that I am doing next. Oh right, okay. Do you know what? I reckon I'm going to have a problem here with one thing or another, because there's quite a... Oh gosh, especially if I keep knocking things over. There's a problem here that you can't see. Oh, I've done it again amongst some other distractions. Another chunk of time has gone by, a couple of problems have turned up, and that is that thing there. I'll show you. That is the replacement radiator, of which I don't need. That is the radiator housing with the fan that I do need, but there's no plug on the end. And that is the original smashed one with some extra bits of wiring going on. And that is my microwave being used for the first time in months. Did you ever see my microwave video? If you did, you'll know how excited I got about having a microwave at work. And I used it all the time I was eating pasties and things like that. And then I stopped eating pasties and then I stopped using it. But today, I've got some samosas. Naughty, but I'm hungry. So, this may well have been a problem with just that there originally, but we can see there's a black wire going off to the battery and then a blue one that goes off into the car to a switch. Is the fan on, because it wasn't working otherwise. And maybe when I put this new one on, that won't be necessary, and that would be good, wouldn't it? Because having a switch to do something rather than coming on when it's supposed to do isn't as good. Right, there's the battery tray cover off, and snag my nail. Oh, looks rather girly thing to complain about, but that's the end of my classical guitar playing for a couple of weeks. So I have now removed this dangly wire because it's not needed, and we don't really want extra bits of wire coming off from the battery to the radiator that's not even going to be on there, do we? No. Sorry if you're interested, you're missing half of this because I just put that on without filming anything. Perhaps I should go and get my tripod. Oh, the good thing about not having much aircon gas is it doesn't make a mess everywhere, and you can just basically undo it and everything's fine. Slam panel time. There's the old one, there's the new one that looks older, but there's a couple of bits missing off of that, so and there's a couple of bits broken on that which you can't transfer. That means I shall go and look for another one. And look, I found another one already, and it looks a bit better than that other one anyway. Good, yes. This one has the sensor intact. That's what I needed, and both horns and all the plugs. This angle, just before the slam panel goes back on. Exciting, eh? I'm sure you'll agree. Just a few bits to take off of this one because this has more bits on it than the other one. When I say more bits, it has some bits left on that I've taken off the other one. It needs to come off, such as these things, the bonnet catches. Got to take the bonnet catches off. You see, you can't have too many. You can't have too many bonnet catches. And when I say you can't have too many, what I mean is, if you've got too many, that's too many. Not, bonnet catches are so good that you can't have too many of them, because that doesn't make sense. That's where these ones come from. Nice. So, for the moment, this is it. Next job's going to be replacing that bonnet. And just a couple of clips here and there, a couple of bits tightened up, and that's it. Job almost done.